Acroasis tertia caput primum, pages 1 through 2 and 5, on nouns, verbs, and the imperative mood. Parts of speech. Partes orationis. We have nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, and interjections. And this is a long list, but today we're really only going to talk about one. We'll encounter some nouns, but we're first going to get some exercise with some verbs. So just to remind ourselves, noun, coming from nomen, meaning name, is a person, place, thing, or idea. Verbum, which literally means word because it moves the language forward, is an activity or state of being. But today we're going to talk primarily about verbs. So let's talk about verbs. Let's talk about what verbs have. All verbs have person, and this is going to tell us who is doing the action, or in some cases receiving the action. We'll have number, which is going to tell us how many. We have tense, that tells us when. We have voice, that tells us by whom, tells us who is doing the action. And then we have mood, which answers the question, really? Is this really happening? But today we're going to focus on some pretty straightforward, pretty easy things. And so you're going to see this list again, person, number, tense, voice, and mood, quite a bit. You'll become very familiar with it. Persona et numerus, person and number. So we're going to start with ourselves. If I'm talking about me, and I am the only one I'm talking about, then that is first person. And if I'm the only one, then it's first person singular. We represent that in English with the pronoun I. So I speak for myself. But if I am speaking on behalf of a larger group, or if I'm speaking with a larger group and we're speaking as all together, then that is first person plural. We represent that in English with the pronoun we. So we have I, which is singular, and we, which is plural. Now, if I am speaking to you, I am directly addressing you, my listener, and there's only one of you. That is second person, and it is second person singular, and so I use the pronoun in English you. Sometimes you'll see thou in older forms of English, but in modern English we tend to use only you. Now, if I'm speaking to you and your friends, or your enemies, or whoever else is nearby, then that is second person plural, and that is also represented in English by the pronoun you. Then, if I am not speaking to you, but I'm speaking about someone, not someone I'm directly addressing, then that is third person. And if there's only one of those, then it's third person singular. And we represent that by the pronouns he, she, or it, or we use the noun that about which we are speaking. If I'm speaking about more than one person, but I'm not directly addressing them, then that is third person plural. And we represent that with the pronoun they, or the plural form of the noun. Today we're going to talk about verbs in the imperative mood. And the imperative mood is pretty simple. It's the first one that you'll hear in class, and we'll get a lot of use out of it. The imperative mood is used for commands, for telling someone to do something. There is no first person form of the imperative, and in class we'll only use the second person forms as they're the most common and they're the most logical. Therefore, we're going to be concerned primarily with the pronouns you for the singular, or you for the plural. So, as I just said, the imperative mood is used to give commands. For example, exempli gratia, call the boys. I am telling you to call the boys. Boys is receiving that action, so that's our noun. I'm telling you to call the boys. Give me the book. I am telling you to give me the book. Praise the hero. I am telling you to praise the hero. In all of these sentences, who is the subject? You are the subject. So we're going to make the imperative form. To form the imperative in the singular, it's as easy as it could possibly be. We take the present stem. Now to find the present stem, you need those principal parts, which we'll be memorizing. And to find the present stem, we go to that second principal part, we cut off the RE, and so with the verb woko, wokare, wokawi, wokatum, our present stem is woka. So we go to the present stem. To find the present stem, we go to the second principal part, we drop the RE, so woka. So call. So I'm telling you, and only one of you, to call someone or something. But if I'm speaking to a larger group, Latin has a way of differentiating that, and so we add another ending to it. So we take that present stem, woka, and we add te to it. So if I'm telling everyone to call for help, and I would say wokate, wokate. So notice woka, I'm only talking to one person. Wokate, I'm talking to more than one person. So in the singular, we're only speaking to one person. So when I take the verb moneo, monere, monui, monitum, our present stem is mone. If I am telling you to warn me, I would say mone me, mone me. Looking at the verb servo, which means I save, servo, servare, servavi, servatum. If I want you to save the boy, I say serva puerum, save the boy. We have the verb tereo, terere, terui, teritum. If I want you to frighten the goose, I would say tere anserem, frighten the goose. You have to work hard at that. It takes a little bit of work to frighten a goose. So mone, serva, tere. Mone, I'm only talking to one person. Serva, I'm only talking to one person. Tere, I'm only talking to one person. But what if I have more than one person I need to talk to? So we use the plural because you need a change in number if you have a change in the number of addressees. So if I want all of you to warn me, I'd say monete me. Warn me. Notice that in English the translation's the same because we don't make a distinction between singular and plural in English for the imperative. Servate puerum. This boy is going to need a lot of help, so all of you have to pitch in. Save the boy. All of you, save the boy. Terete anserum. It is a big goose. We're going to need extra help for them. So terete anserum. Frighten the goose. And that ends our lesson for today. I want you to go ahead, fill out the Google form, enjoy this, practice your brand new imperatives. You're going to hear it a lot in class. Vole omnes.